Volunteer steam train driver Colin Holl of Bendigo was with the Victorian Railways for 48 years. His love for steam engines has now become a pastime with him, and with his vast experience comes the knowledge of the K160.
Well, for many years this ran on light line railways in Victoria, not necessarily in Bendigo, but on light lines. It's called a light line goods engine. And it ran many years pulling goods trains until such time that it just about reached the end of its tether, and it went to Bendigo workshops as a shunting engine then, and it went for many, many months in Bendigo workshops until finally it was retired. And the railways then handed it over to our society here, and with a group of young fellows we've sort of looked after the old thing and got it back into running order again, and we've transported it here to Maldon in a low loader. We couldn't run it across from Castlemaine, and now we just run backwards and forwards, and we hopefully eventually want to run into Castlemaine. Well, we must do up a bridge that's down near a siding called Muckleford, which is our short-term stage where we hope to pull the train to Muckleford, run around the train and run back here again, and that would be $10,000 at least. And eventually we'll have to get railway permission, of course, Victorian Railway permission, even to run into Castlemaine. But I would say in the long term we'd be looking at to repair the line.
Society's pride and joy, an old K-class locomotive was polished up and put through her paces. The driver, Colin Holl, worked with the Victorian Railways for 48 years before taking up the opportunity to return to one of his favourite locomotives.
We had driven her many, many years ago.
By an impassable bridge. Today it made the trip just for us, but Tuesday will be the first official run through the Muckleford Forest. If you take the word of the engine's driver, and possibly best salesman, that's going to be one hell of a trip.
That's for the mums and the dads and the kids, that's for everybody. It's a day also for photographers. If you've got any photographers around that hear this particular message and want to come across, they'll have a good day that day with the sun out like it will be. We'd never have the resources, or we'd never have the funds to be able to purchase a fill of any sort. And Triad Mining now of Maldon have come to our assistance, and they're going to supply unlimited quantities of this rock fill.
Once the trestle bridges are restored, the plan for a Muckleford loop is underway. More good news is expected this week, with a government grant of $150,000 to help restore the Muckleford Creek Bridge. Around 130 Army engineers are providing the labour for that project, expected to start early next year. The servicemen will camp on site during the restoration project.
And we hope that this time next year we'll be running into Muckleford.